Dave, you couldn't hear her? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So every knows how to turn these on, so and we need to speak. Great crowd. How many folks do we have outside? A lot. Well, maybe we'll do it in shifts. We can work that out. Thank you all for coming. This is the Citizens Police Advisory Committee. We meet monthly, and 4 times a year we meet in various communities to get information from the citizens in the neighborhoods. This is the best crowd we've ever had. I wonder why. We're pleased to have you here. Our job primarily is, what is that? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. CPAC is an advisory committee to City Council. Advisory committee. And our primary function is to make recommendations to City Council and act as a source of citizen information. That's why we're here tonight. We're here to hear from you, and we probably won't have any official business other than to pay attention to you and hear what you say. This is going to be recorded. There'll be a transcript, and I think the news media is here, so you may be on television tonight if you choose to speak. Again, interpreters are here. In the past, we've had a lady that had signers here, and I don't see her or her signers tonight. So anyway, that's available too. It is being recorded, and we have a sign-up list. And what we would do is we would call 5 names, and if you would make your way to the microphone, there's one here and one here, and you have a timer, so your presentation needs to be no more than 3 minutes. If you have 3 other people that, before I was moving on, if you have 3 people that you're speaking for, that would be 10 minutes. But if you're speaking for yourself, that's 4 minutes. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I'm going to get the introductions here. I got to get through my list and get to remind me.
I called the city manager's office today and spoke to April. She said we had 4 minutes.
Right. But he corrected me.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we're 4. I was speaking about if 3 people are, you're speaking for 3 people, you would have 10 minutes. But if you're speaking for yourself, 4 minutes. Our timekeeper is right over here, and she has little cards that you get some cards. She will flash the yellow one after 3 minutes, and the red card is your time is up. Please be respectful of the time of others who want to speak as well. And we want you, when you speak, to address the committee, and not necessarily individuals, but address the committee with your comments. And again, we're going to call, based on the list, 5 names, and we would like you to make your way to the mics, and so we don't have to wait for somebody to crawl over a bunch of seats. And hopefully this is going to work out for us. Okay?
When are you going to address who's sitting up there?
Getting ready to do that right now? Okay. I will.
My name is Cliff Joslin. I represent the south side of Asheville.
Mike Lamb, Asheville Police Department.
Debbie Applewhite, East Asheville.
Good evening, Jake Gurney, Housing Authority of the City of Asheville.
Tammy Hooper, Asheville Police
Tammy Hook.
Department. I'm Carol Roboff Holstrom. I am here I would just like to acknowledge that we're here because we're a community in crisis, and I'm grateful that you're chosen to come.
Shauna McDowell, Vice Chair and Member at Large.
Keith Young, Asheville City Council.
Okay, and I am Larry Holt, and I represent the central area, downtown, and pretty much the downtown cluster. I'm the chairman, and Sean is our vice chair. In terms of voting members, our council member and Mike Lamb are ad hoc, and they do not have a vote on the committee. Any questions? Any
Maybe
more
just
questions?
take a little bit longer to explain how this board came to be and what its function is. Because the majority of people in this room have no freaking idea what CPAC does, why y'all even exist.
Okay,
So just and maybe if you're not
Okay.
that great at explaining it, Carol knows, she could tell you.
well, I gave a brief statement as to what we do. We're an advisory committee. Beg pardon?
Who voted you on this committee?
We are appointed by city council, and we serve for limited terms.
I'm not the one asking, these people are asking.
Okay.
Don't look at me, look at them.
Okay? Any other questions on the committee? We serve 4-year terms, and you can only serve 2 consecutive terms. We have a number of people here that have completed their service, and as soon as the decision is made regarding the Human Relations Committee or Commission, they will probably be replaced. They're serving until the time that that's decided, and also if City Council chooses to retain a Citizen Police Advisory Committee. So there's some decisions that need to be made by council, not only as to whether we will continue to exist and who will fill the vacant spots. As you probably heard, we've got north, south, east, west, central, and some ad hoc members. And
you have public housing neighborhoods. Let's treat them like parts of town as well, correct?
so we have a representative of the Housing Authority, and we have a member of the Housing Authority. Let me go ahead and indicate the members, the other members that we have here. Beg your pardon? Not enough. If they double our salaries, it would be 0. We are volunteers. Volunteers. Right. That's right. No.
No sarcasm tonight. No
Okay.
sarcasm. Not a good time for sarcasm.
We are volunteers.
I think I can get a little better explanation.
Thank you. Give rise to a person of color.
How we all arrived here. If you go on the buncombecounty.gov, there is a whole list of committees. And a lot of them, I'm sorry, Asheville City. If you go on there are tons of committees that still need seats filled. We all put in an application. It was reviewed and we were appointed. It's not like we were handpicked or anything like that. We are all here. We're here from different communities. We do have a member that is a resident of Asheville Housing Authority. He is not here tonight. We have no control of that because it is a volunteer position. He chooses not to come, there's nothing we can do. Okay, but the rest of us here, we're here to hear your voices, and we also have our own opinions. And trust me, we feel the same way you do. Okay, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're brothers. Okay, so we understand. I'm raising 2 black sons, and anyone that has ever come to our meeting, hey, we used to work together. We need it. So anybody that's come to this meeting knows how adamant I am about police brutality because I'm raising 2 black sons. My son has been stopped and profiled, and he's 18. So trust me, we hear your voice. if we are going to be a community, we have to stand united. We cannot be divided by color, by religion, or anything.
Thank you. We have, as mentioned, that we have two members that are not here. And the, let's see. We have Sir Charles Gardner is the public housing president member of our organization. And also Allison Scott is also an at-large member. So that they're not here tonight, and I guess they have other commitments. I think Allison's out of town. So, without further ado, you all have agendas. There were agendas available, but let's move on with the program here, and I'll turn it over to the Chief for her statement.
Good evening. I'm not going to take a huge amount of time going through this presentation.
Speak up, we can't hear you.
All right. You hear me now?
Turn it up.
I think that the opportunity we have here tonight, more than anything, is to hear from you. And so I'm going to just give basically what the facts of the situation were, how it was handled, and then I think, the value of this process is for us to allow everyone here the opportunity to be heard, to express your feelings and your outrage, and for us to take that and try to work toward making things better for our entire community as we move forward. Just after midnight, I believe, on August 25th, well, let me back that up. I think it started on August 24th, but ran into after midnight. APD officer Chris Hickman, former APD officer Chris Hickman.
What year?
This 2017, last summer. Basically engaged in a very egregious and violent use of excessive force against Mr. Johnny Rush.
Amen. Amen.
The next morning, Mr. Rush came to APD and made a complaint that he had been subjected to excessive force. We immediately took that complaint, pulled the body cam video, and obviously, upon watching that, recognized that it was a very egregious and violent episode. Based on that, Chris Hickman was immediately brought into his badge, gun, and law enforcement authority was suspended by me. And so I think it's important to know, if you didn't already know, that he never went back out on the street for one single day after the night of this incident. He did get paid. I'll let me get down the road a little bit on that.
Was he brought up on any charge?
He may well be.
Our brothers are brought up every day on charges. Chief, I'm sorry. I don't care about this Larry Holt. Mr. Larry, I'm sorry.
Hey, no, Dolores.
Please,
Save
don't
it
do
for
this.
comment. Save it for comment, Dolores. Come on. We gotta all
I'm
be
going to go
chill.
through the timeline, and I promise you that I will hear exactly everything you have to say. And I'm going to try to answer some questions here as I go through this about why things are. Okay?
There's no answer for this. There's no answer for this.
There's no excuse.
I agree with you.
No
There's
answer.
excuse.
There's no answer for this.
Other than you need to be fired.
Okay.
Why
So,
do we have to use this format?
Exactly.
This is not the correct format. You have a lot of anger in this room. This is not the format. And I have been a civil rights activist since age 11. I remember the mass meetings. This is too much control.
Yes.
You cannot control and herd human soul. It's
Yes.
not hurting now. This is not the right format. Now, if you want to talk about a right format, we can do it right now.
Yes.
We can do it right now.
This is a regular meeting. This is a meeting of Citizens Police Advisory Committee.
But give people what they want. Give people what they want. That's what's wrong with this
Let these
country.
people speak when they're doing their own and you're right. This is a meeting.
I don't care what you say. We are glad in here. We're ready to tell this to you.
We are
You
all,
need to shut up. And let us speak.
we are all
Don't
upset
tell me
about
you need to
this.
speak to me. You
How
don't
long did
We
it
don't
take?
have the opportunity to speak at the
let
front.
that man speak.
Have you signed for this speak?
Shut up.
You already heard what, she had to say.
Okay.
Hey, listen,
We already heard what she had to say. She was all over the media.
I appreciate that.
Are you ready for an eruption?
Sir,
Are you ready for an eruption? And never repent this anymore.
I kept telling people to
Give
listen to
praise to
us.
the people.
I kept telling y'all to
I
listen
remember
to
you
us.
from Alexandria. Hey, listen. I don't care what white flag. If there's one tell you right now, say the serenity prayer in your heart. Say the serenity prayer.
We don't always follow the Robert's Rule of Order.
We're not
You
going to
have it.
take
These white, these people, this is our man.
so let's
Now,
do
this
this.
thing will erupt. This thing will erupt. And she tell them,
Ladies,
I ain't not sorry.
ladies,
Kill. That's exactly what they told me.
You make a push up.
I hear you. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I know I can get it. The man said, I know I can get it.
Which I
We are. If you wanna hear it, you wanna hear it. I wanna hear it. Because I feel the same way.
She was supposed to have taken care of that. When you shot, let that man take care of it.
Hey, yes!
And shut
Yes!
up. And we back here because you allowed your officers to do this. Do this. Bring her to the office.
I need you to talk. I need you. Yes.
You and Jay saying that somebody called y'all and said I had drugs and money. Y'all do this. Y'all allow these people to do this. And then the man said we got to make a count every night. We are held accountable, and you get mad at them when they don't make their count. But you paid that man that shot my godson. His head back out in the streets. You imagine
Here's the deal.
that you said that his
Here's the deal, folks. It's like this. At the end of the day, let me say this. At the end of the day, when I lose my title, when I am no longer a city councilor in this city, I'm just like y'all. I got to go back home. I got to do what I got to do because I'm just like everybody else. I don't want to hear every single one of y'all. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to give y'all opportunity to speak. I feel your pain. I feel your hurt. I understand it. I'm right here with you. Let us hear you. Let us hear you.
Why don't you deal with the problem?
Let's go ahead and get the public comment. I want to give people the microphone and give them the speak. I want to hear you. You have a microphone over here, you got one over here. Don't just stand up and go ahead and speak. We need to hear you. Because right now what I feel is pain. I don't feel it. Because I can hear you. I can hear you. Let's go ahead and speak.
I'm tired of being tired. That's what Fannie Lou said. You can't stop me now. I'm tired of being tired. Can Can I have the
Let me
mic?
tone this a little bit.
All right, listen, we got
Can we have the mic?
yes, give me just 1 second. Let me give a little bit of structure.
You need to tone this up. See, this is what happens when you come to our neighborhoods and you don't do what you need to do. This happens.
Here's what's going to happen.
Please, sir. Please, sir. Please. Okay? Sir, please, don't stretch yourself. We love the Lord, but right now is not the time. Can I please come up here and tone this a little bit?
I know she's asking you to move it.
We're going to give you 3 minutes or if you got some other.
Dolores has 10 minutes.
It took,
Dolores has 10 minutes.
the Lord should have longer. It took more than 3 minutes to do what is done in this city.
We're going to give this.
It takes more than 3 minutes to
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, don't sit down. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
you can leave it off the mic. Go ahead.
I need this mic right on. Thank you. Look, let me tell you something. I'm just as mad as y'all are like in tears right now. Let me tell you something. We didn't come here today. We didn't come here because of Mr. Rush. We came here because of this system.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay? We came here because of this system. You've been here before. We're going to be here again. Because just like before, thank you, Mr. Holt. But right now, they hear me. What I'm telling you is we have been here over and over and over again. This system. You know what? We can blame everybody on the stage, but guess what? Every last person on this stage is part of the system. We have been obliterated as black folks in this city. Don't think we're human beings. Let me tell you something. Mr. Rush is not the issue. The issue is the human rights issue. The issue is because we've all been beat down. We have all been obliterated. We have all been talked to like dogs, trash. We are not valued. We have no voice in this city. That's what Asheville is. They believe in tourism. They don't believe in the people who make this city run when tourism doesn't. That is the issue. This is the issue we're faced with. So let me tell you something. A lot of y'all are here because y'all read a Facebook post. And it's good to see white folks, but I'm more glad to see the black people here. Because we have something to say. And nobody ever heard us before. And I have white folks that go to see the town, and every black person in this room that needs to talk. You don't hear us today. Y'all don't hear us today. And what I'm telling you is this. Chief Hooper, we've tried to work with the police department. It hasn't worked. We've been through de-escalation. We've been through REI. We've been through all these trainings. Look what happened. Mr. Rush is just an isolated incident that happened because somebody said something. If nobody reported that, if nobody leaked that, guess what we did? We'd be in the dark. Business as usual. Nothing would happen.
Thank you.
This is ridiculous. I have came to this board over and over and over again saying that chickens will come on the roofs. But guess what? You got a house full of fellas. Woo!
Well,
Now we're back here again because what? Everything we said to y'all fell on deaf ears. It's not going to work. It ain't going to happen. And it's not going to be today. But guess what? Now we're here today. What are you going to do? We got elected officials who don't answer to us. We have a city manager who, where the hell is he at? Right now?
Nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is he? Huh? Where's the assistant city manager? Can't keep all in the house? Where's she at? Where's the secretary for the city manager? Where's the DA at?
Where's Todd?
Where's the DA at? Where's Todd Williams? Where's his assistant? Where's his secretary? Because they all have assistants. Where's those people at? You know what they did? They left these people right here to be scapegoats. Yep. You know what they did? You know what they did? See, the one thing I have against other people is I'm a born and raised Asheville native. I'm 8 generations in this city. My blood, sweat, and tears, mine's here. I'm not walking away. I can't leave here. Because guess what? I can't afford to leave here. Because it's nothing to afford to leave. All I can do is, I can't own a brewery. I don't work in hotels that don't pay enough. All we're doing is living towards the system. This is not about police brutality. This is about rights. What happened was, we became a product of that system. Until we could get ourselves free, economic freedom. We're in the South Side. These people are holding a meeting in a black neighborhood. They trying to tone police. That's real talk. They tone police and how we feel. I can see so many black people up in here who have been obliterated by systems of oppression. And then they tell us we got 3 minutes to talk about it. It took 400 years to get to this point. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? We're talking about slavery. This is slavery. This is why we're saying that we need to abolish the 13th Amendment. It's a human rights issue. This is a human rights issue. Until we get rid of the prison to the slavery pipeline, we ain't going to be talking about nothing else. So I'm tired of talking about police. What we need to be talking about is the Geneva Convention and human rights. We have a city that's talking about equity. What's equitable about getting beat down on camera for jaywalking? We're talking about we're a progressive city. What progress when we tell tourists to come here, but black tourists got a face getting beat down on Billboard Avenue because you're jaywalking? They didn't know who he was, really. All they knew that he was a black man breaking the law. Well, white people do it all the time. But all you white folks. But you in our neighborhood right now, mad because of what? We need y'all to show up where it counts. Y'all showed up at the voting booth, but look what you voted for. See, I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear, because I keep it real every day. My name is Dolores Minimal. I work for Black Lives Matter. I'm the one you've been looking at. Let me tell you something. It takes a lot of guts for somebody to call me up and say you're wasting taxpayer money to look at me and other activists when you ain't looking at the officer who did this egregious crime. Yeah. Well, he should have been charged from day one. Why is it when white people are sorry to come to black folks, the black church, and say, we so sorry? No. We didn't mean to. We keep on doing the same thing over and over and over again. We are tired of this nation being Asheville, y'all. I came to y'all, each and every last one of you, and said the same thing. How much does it take? How many of us got to die? What does y'all feel like when y'all, because I'm going to tell you something. If you would have put your hands on me like that,
Bad, so bad.
I would have rather die, because let me tell you something. You ain't going to put your hands on me like that.
No.
I'm going to tell you that. And that's the problem here in Asheville. You've created right now, she's super. That cop, that dirty savage, that nasty thug you had employed, you know what he did with black men here? What he did was set a precedent. What he said was, you know what, you can fight or flight. Let me tell you something. If you ever run up on me, you're going to fight. My mother might have bury me. You know what, see time? Anybody got some time? Hey, there we go. There we go. There we go. So that's the time. Let me tell you something.
I'm not trying to cut you off, but I do want to respect everybody else.
I want to respect the fact that the one thing these people came for is because I brought them here. So let me tell you something. I brought them here because the one thing that they know that I know is police brutality. I got 4 black men right now that say Asheville Police Department aggressive against them. I got a black man right now that say they held up in custody for 4 hours in handcuffs in the back of the police squad car. Bigger than you, taller than you. Think about being in handcuffs for 4 hours in the back of the squad car. You wouldn't be comfortable, and my big ass ain't either. That's being real. So with that being said, we need to keep talking about this, y'all. The one thing that we have against us in this black community is we never came up like this. We never came. We got, you know what? The action is when we come up to these white folks and tell them how the hell we feel, that's the action. The action is being real and some money. We ain't got nothing over here in the South. We're broke. We poor. Our kids don't have education. They got the lowest education system in the state. See, everybody's ignoring what's going on. They use this as a ghost point. Mr. Bush ain't the only white man that's been happening to. Man, we can call a lot of names. He's just the reason why you found out. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled by shiny ladies. You know what I'm saying? The only reason why we're talking about this now is because you found out about it. So real talk is, we've been going through this over here in the South for decades. Decades for this. So we need to really rise up as a people. We need to really talk about what's going on. Now real talk is, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Either they can charge this man with a crime, or
I just want to say this. I'm like Fannie Lou. I'm tired of being tired. I wrote the article just the other week in Mountain Express, No Apologies. And I really agree with you, Dolores. We're tired of white folks saying we apologize. I reject it. I reject the sorry. You are sorry like the other word, the other meaning, sorry. I refuse to have apology in my vocabulary. The word that I think is more important starts with an A.
this is the shit that I'm talking about.
It's acknowledgement. It's acknowledgement. When you acknowledge, and if we can get in the spirit of acknowledging where we are and who we are, and it might take white people going back into their history.
Yes.
It might take, instead of white people trying to come and find what black folk talking about, it might take white people facing each other, calling each other accountable. It might take white people going into these old low-down racist ass churches that hold the bulk of the Republican and Democratic Party. And on Monday morning, get up early and go into the courthouse and make laws against us. Maybe we need to start visiting those churches. White people, before you come on the other side of the railroad track. That's where you put us, you know. Before you get there, you got to come across the white churches in the courthouse. And I remember back in the day, a black preacher would preach on Sunday morning, but Monday morning, and I'm saying it to black ministers too, because I'm a minister. Monday morning, you found every black folks say we gonna meet, maybe y'all need to meet on the other side of town.
Yes!
And y'all need to call some bigots and some racists to y'all's meeting.
Yeah.
You know, you got some great uncles there. You know you got some grandmothers that still hold. Okay? And let us, instead of trying to put it together, we've been trying for 50 odd years, and it ain't working. Every time people say, you know, well, we'll come a long ways, but put a T behind, another T behind that button. Okay? So instead of trying to put it together, I think white people, see, start with your offices and go into their background. Go back! Go back to their ancestry and see how many were KKK. That should be a prerequisite to hiring here. So white people got a lot of work to do. Y'all always come to us. What's wrong with y'all? Ain't a darn thing wrong with us. Ain't nothing wrong with me, and ain't nothing wrong with you either. Hold it now. Amen. We gonna have a good team. Come on, next person. Look here. Let me tell you something. If you want to get something started, and if you want to solve some issues, I tell you what.
Give up the money.
We need
Reparations.
to dialogue. Black folk need to start talking
That's why I
amongst
did this
themselves.
today. That's why I did this today,
And
brother.
white folk need to start talking and dialogue.
That's why I did
And
this.
every now and then we come together. Amen. And I might come to
Y'all ain't the only ones with something to say.
I can't up here and freestyle like my sister and my brother did. So I had to remember. So I wrote down what I wanted to say. I've been planning it for a minute. Spirit man. Okay, it goes like this. Another month, another year, we find ourselves in another room at another CPAC meeting, discussing the never-ending issue in the black community, abuse and injustice. Throughout all these meetings, our issues and concerns exit the mind as soon as the room is clear. Well, before this room clears tonight, what stays shall stay in the mind of those that earn their living, making decisions that affect the entire community. As a member of the community, I'm fed up with the bamboozle. The promises of transparency from our police chief are only transparent when someone's hands are caught in the cookie jar, or when fingers start pointing, who did this and who didn't do that. The only thing transparent is that black people in Asheville continue to be omitted from the radar of equality and justice. Where there's no justice, there can never be any peace. No peace of mind, no peace in this city that we are still. It's way past time to dismantle the good old boy machine and put people into place that are progressive thinkers that are inclusive of everyone in the city of Asheville, not just the same people. That good old boy machine consists of those that are in a position of upholding the oppression of the black community and do nothing to repair it. Also, those that will participate in the cloaking of and injustice perpetrated upon the black resident of this town. Someone stated to me that we're continually fixated on the figureheads, where it's not the figurehead that bears the sole responsibility when a person's rights as a human being are violated. Folks need to sensitivity and realize that we're no longer your property to do with as you please, and that we will no longer accept being treated as such. We have a machine that's broken that demands immediate repair. If not, it should continue continue to gather rust and erode. No more spraying WD-40 on park and or parks that need replacement. The city manager, the mayor, vice mayor, district attorney, police chief, police captain, and any members of the city council that continue to live your country lifestyles and not hear our cries and bleed our love and equality and justice have to go.
Have to go. That's
We can disrupt this tourist haven time with marching and protesting, but we'd rather have the shaft removed from the wheat and have a product that's edible for everyone that lives.
That's all right.
Most of you, I think, know me. I'm Al Whiteside. I'm a long-term resident of Asheville, Buncombe County. I've lived here all my life, other than when I was in college and in the Navy doing Vietnam. I feel your pain. I know what you're saying. But let's go back. 30 years ago, they put it in the paper and I counted wrong. 30 years ago, I knew they reminded me of what it's like to be driving black in Asheville. When I was driving with my wife, and at that time, one daughter, and the police stopped us looking for drugs. Now, think about this. It was about 4 or 5 of them, and one of them standing there who didn't say anything. I had financed the car for him the week before the bank. Think about it. So that told me early on what some think of black men in this community. But we have got to do something about it, folks. We can't just wait until something happens.
That's
Like
right.
Since I've been on the county commission, I'm one of the loneliest men in the county because I'm there fighting for us. And I look out in the audience, where are you? You know, where are you when we were talking about hate crimes, a resolution for that? Even though I got a 7-0 vote on it, and all of us sad. But we've got to start doing this all the time. We've got to participate. So when I look at this, the people up here, you all should be up there. Some of you.
Thank you.
Let me finish now. I think we all need to respect each other. Now, let's talk about this incident. And I agree with one thing. I agree with all of them. One, I don't understand why the DA didn't bring charges. When you look at how it happened, I'm sorry, Tammy, but I can't understand what you did so long. How many of you are familiar with House Bill
all of them, I know.
972? 972.
I've been fighting on behalf of the people for too long, and nobody hears us.
Okay, 972 gives them the right to keep these videos away from us. It started in Robert. But I don't care what we say about this bill, but it comes back to doing the right thing. You know, I'm a firm believer that I wouldn't be on the county commission if I didn't believe in being a servant of the people. That's what it's about, politicians. Because you put us in office and we represent you. And it's up to us to do the right thing.
That's the
Now,
county.
I know pain. Look,
That's the county.
back during the civil rights era, I was arrested 14 times and never stopped counting. So I've been there. I've been in jails in Durham, Atlanta. I know what we need to do when it comes to that. But now it's time. We're no longer in the 60s. We're in the 2000s, 2018. And it's time to
Exactly.
What's happening to black men. I have 2 grandsons who live here. You know, I don't want to see what happened to one of my grandsons or to your son, or to me, even me and you, Marcel, we're something, you know. But we have got to do something about it.
Yeah, and I'm being nice about it too. I mean, they want us to talk to them a certain way and everything, while they're killing us. Hello.
Right.
Well, I think in order, if you're a good politician, it's one thing you got to do.
I'm not a politician, I'm a citizen.
No, I'm talking about.
I'm tired of being nice about it.
I'm talking about them.
Fire the DA. I mean, this should not be happening. They knew better, and they did it anyway.
Do they know better? That's the
There's
question.
no excuse for them, okay?
Do they know better?
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Well, let me tell you.
Practice enough already.
Let's start acting. Now, if you have problems with the DA, he's on the ballot. Okay, he's on the ballot.
Do you know that the officer that shot Jerry is still on the force? He's still being paid?
Still dead. Still dead. Say
Get
it.
rid of the police chief. He's going to handle it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's talk.
But no,
I still say,
it hasn't
we
changed. It hasn't changed none. It hasn't. I'm Jerry's doctor, okay? I know it hasn't changed. I mean, I stay in the house. I stay up here involved. And I love my place where I stay. But every time there is a cop, give you an example. A couple of nights ago, my son came to see me, okay? 3 cops came behind him. CJ, what did you do? He said, Mama, they tried to say I'm speaking. Do you know what your cop done? Let me show you, because I got it on video. Your cop came up to my son and said, you need to learn how to talk to somebody. You don't tell my son that. I'm standing here. I'm his mother. He know how to talk to you. You talk to him the right way. Then you put your hands on the gun. You put your hands on the gun. You said that my son did 50 coming up this hill. I don't know what my son did or not. But it didn't cause for 3 of y'all to come behind him and then one of you to say, teach your son how to talk. What are you being taught? What are you being taught? Be respectful. If you want respect, you give respect. And when he was standing on that plane, you know what I saw? I saw my God. I saw the same thing. I hit my son to make him shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're scared.
I had to hit him. Do you know how that feels? You would. I mean, I'm not saying you don't know. But for my child, this is the second time he's been pulled over for something stupid. You know, there was an incident one time before, back during last summer. He got pulled over because he was riding through a neighborhood over here in Erskine with a hoodie on. What was he doing wrong? Can you tell me what was he doing wrong? Because he was riding through Erskine at 12 o'clock at night because he got off. And they said that, well, most people out here selling drugs or looking for drugs at that time. My son has graduated from school. He has a job he's been working since he was 15. Never been a time. Thank God I got 3, ain't never been a time. Okay? But for you to disrespect him and assume what he was doing, did you ask him? They didn't ask. You just assumed. Don't assume that every black man, and do you know why they wrong? Because you treat them like that. You treat them like that. You shouldn't. I was sitting down in Greece a couple of nights ago. I see one cop. They getting ready to mess with somebody. Sure enough, I see 3 cops pull up. Go over into the park. Sit there and look at them like they were dogs and monkeys on the vine. Didn't erase nail one. What are y'all doing? You might even have me on video when I say, are y'all harassing him because all of them boys are sitting over there at one time? They pull it off. It's not fair. It's not fair. That's all we're saying. You need to teach them respect. Don't make them meet a quota every night. before they have to come in. Respect. That's all we ask. Respect.
That's it.
That's all we want. Someone reports that something's wrong. Do y'all look at them every night?
They're supposed to. You're supposed to.
I mean, nobody's there. Are y'all supposed to watch video cameras every night?
That's what policy is.
They
And anytime there's a use of force, it's supposed to go all the way to her desk.
It's supposed. You
Supposed
spend
to.
all that money on the
Supposed to.
cameras and you only watching when someone comes and complain, or you watching activists. By who? You need this.
So bottom line, you can't control her department, but she shouldn't be in her job.
Many videos get watched every day, and then in addition to that, videos when there's not an incident involved, like regular call for service, they get audited by supervisors and also audited by technology.
Well, how did y'all miss this?
How did this man's video go unseen for 58 hours? How can you say you had to review 58 hours of his video footage?
How did this one get missed and it took a year?
It didn't get missed, man.
So it was just, you know about it.
Because it's impossible to fire a police officer.
You just said in the paper the other day, you just said in the paper the other day that you had to review 58 hours of that man's body cam footage that you hadn't seen.
I don't know what we had seen or not. We did everything. We went back, all the video.
Oh, so now we lying. So I guess people that reported that you said, I guess they lying. Everybody lying except for you. Come on now.
So we can hear you.
We immediately pulled the video and watched it.
Well, what happened, why was nothing happening before now? Why did it take 5 months for us to even know?
Because I'm going to say, as we work in a system. And we have to do this, we have to do things the way we do to make sure that this officer is terminated and would never be working again.
So,
if I may,
that's voluntarily.
if I may, I can't answer where they are. We as volunteer advisors right here, and I don't know the answers to your questions either. And if you let me finish, I'll tell you why I'm talking. If you let me finish, I'd be happy to tell you. Because it seems to me that an answer or answers are owed to all of us about what it is that happened, what was done right, and what wasn't done correctly. And it seems to me I would offer as a proposal to CPAC to recommend to City Council that City Council appoint an independent council to take a look at what every step of this process has been. Because
Yeah, it's called a grand jury.
because you don't know, I don't know, and there are lots of contradicting. Can I just finish? Well, I'm going to finish, so thank you. But do you want to know? I want to know. And people who have the answers are not here. And so how do we get the answers? We're here because
To calm the public down.
Enough is enough already, we've had it.
This is a
If you've been to enough CPAC meetings to know that there are some steps if we choose to take them.
Let's give the mic back to community members. Let people speak.
You and I, y'all got this right here.
black woman waiting in line. Don't jump the line.
I'm sorry.
You know what, real talk? They need to hear you because you're the only white man who converted their ass.
And you know what? We're going to lie about it tomorrow.
No. Excuse me, Ms. D. Ms. D, excuse me for a second. There's other people in the room that need to have something to say.
Right.
Now,
Go ahead.
You know what?
the point that I wanted to make, the only thing that I wanted to say is that white supremacy culture created all of this behavior.
Say it again.
This is what I'm saying. Can't nothing get done if we keep talking and yelling and cussing and fussing over one another. We can't.
We trying to fucking talk to you. We trying to talk. Sometimes you gotta talk over somebody.
I have experienced all kind of inappropriate behavior by APD as being a Hillcrest resident for 13 years. I've had them to come to my house and walk into my house, and I didn't even call them. I have had them to pull me over numerous times just because my ID says 36C Hillcrest Apartments. I wasn't able to answer your questions yesterday, a couple of days ago, Chief, when you asked me about the proper, reporting my incidents and reporting what had happened. I did that. I reported every incident the whole time that I stayed in Hillcrest, and it so happened to be that they didn't even recall my name. They couldn't even find the complaint that I had filed. So, the point that, if you be quiet, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. Now, the thing is that there is there's serious movement that has to happen within your department that dismantles all of those policies that are in place to keep us oppressed, to keep us under experiencing this type of racism. It's structural racism, and it has to be dismantled, and the only way that it's going to be dismantled the chief, the city mayor, the vice mayor, the Jackson, all of y'all have to come together and rewrite these policies and have community members at the table when rewriting those policies and those laws.
okay? He was out there. I was embarrassed to see how he was acting toward the police. And I understood why some of them may lose it, because I would lose it. Now, was it wrong the way we saw on that video what happened? Yes, that was wrong. And there needs to be some accountability. But the one thing I heard, I just want to ask, and I think it would be clarification for everyone, so no one will walk out of the room with miscommunication. Now, in the report, Chief, it stated that the officer resigned. Tonight, we heard from someone who spoke that the officer was still on payroll. Will you please clarify whether or not he resigned and is not being paid, or is he still on payroll and being paid?
That was another officer. That was Radford.
Yeah,
that was Tyler
The
Radford.
officer he is no longer a member of our agency. Okay, and I want to hear everything that everyone has to say tonight. I'm not here to make excuses or say anything to try to change what you have experienced in this community. All right? I would really appreciate it if we could just let everyone have their turn, because I think there's a lot of people that want to express their outrage here. Okay? And when it's all said and done, just like every time I have been ready and willing to come to the table, but whoever wants to do the work that's needed to get us past this, okay? So can we just let you finish, and then let's try to get everybody an opportunity to stay with her.
When you finish, and I want to say to the community, can we, as a community, and we don't have to comprehend with anyone up here on this stage, can we come together as a community and come up with some kind of plan on how we want to address issues? Mr. Whiteside has already volunteered to help us and lead us and guide us. Because coming back and forth to these meetings like this, screaming and jumping, we're not going to get anything accomplished. Nothing is going to change. That's all I ask. Can we come together for once and come up and strategize on what we want to see change and press forward in trying to make it happen? Thank you.
Well, then they need to meet with us.
We have read it,
Put all these damn closed door meetings. Meet with us.
coming to the meetings, you know what I'm saying? We ain't getting no justice. The mayor didn't know about where she at. Wow. You got the chief and the mayor. That's why.
Go ahead.
My name is Dewanda Young Tanner, and I was born and raised here in Asheville. I've been gone for about 35 years, but the thing that really,
The mayor is over there, and she has to say.
the thing that really is disappointing to me is the fact that you allowed the world's black greatest female athlete to come to this area knowing that you had those tapes. After 35 years of me coming home, the only thing you really have to offer me is high dollar rent and food.
Well,
This is supposed to be the land of the sky, and you almost shut down to bury Billy Graham.
well.
Why hasn't the tape been nationally viewed? And I understand that we want to control, as a black woman and as an educator, for some of the children who will see this that has been in my presence, seeing that videotape and being born and raised in Asheville is the reason why I am who I am. Don't ever mistake unintelligence for passion. I have a nephew that's less than 2 weeks old. When I went to the hospital, he was the only baby that wasn't opioid addicted. So, let's not or let's go ahead and show the United States what the land of the sky is about. That man was lured like a child to be beaten. He was lured like a child, and the rookie officer urged it on. Go back to the tape. At the end of the day, when I came tonight with my sister, I expected resignations. I didn't expect You can tell me how I should feel. I left Asheville as an 18-year-old girl like I was leaving apartheid. I knew how I could be treated, how my parents were treated. And if we have the kind of actions that we have with the police department, understand that it's going on in social services, it's going on in all the medical care that we can get. Are we getting the best medical care? Because it seems like our skin color is slighted. I understand that you have a Hispanic translator, but when I left Asheville didn't have any Hispanic. But what I'm saying is that wasn't a Hispanic man being me like, did you really look at it? Could you really stomach it? No. Could you really stomach it? Does that man have a concussion? And then a stun gun. And here we are today, and we got somebody standing on the podium, and he's armed like we're going to get him. I saw one version. We all saw one version. Right before we came tonight, all of a sudden, it's another version. But you want to point and speculate on how somebody else is supposed to feel.
Lord have mercy.
You know, I've been here, and it seems like to me, Asheville doesn't clean up to tourist season. It's trash everywhere. And what I'm saying is, what this beer that you let people brew costs, most of your workers don't even make that out. We didn't need to brew no beer. As a kid, I went every year to the Billboard House. Now, I can't afford to go to the Billboard House. You know, you talking about it was some lead in Asheville High School? Come on. I mean, nobody seems to be in charge. But when you go to other parts of the state, the Billboard House, Asheville, over 35 years of living in Durham, when people would say something to me about Asheville, the first thing that I would tell them is, there's not a lot of people that look like us. That's right. My son was supposed to come visit 2 weeks ago, and something in my spirit told him not to come. My sons have worked since they were 15, 16 years old. They like nice things. But why would I have them come here knowing they can leave here with a record? Just because.
Money and power are in charge. And
that's all I have to say. Thank you.
States of America.
Hello. All right.
Is yours on?
Yeah. My name is Rick Best, and I'm a proud citizen of Asheville and also a proud social worker. And so I got 2 questions. The first one is, to me, kind of all of the apologies kind of fall on deaf ears if we're actively investigating who leaked the video. So, City Council and the Asheville Police Department going to enact and provide for whistleblowers and people who make the right decisions? That's the first question. The second question. So I was going to let you answer that one, and I'll ask my second one. reprimands or disciplinary action, correct?
What I'll say is that we are not going to investigate that.
Okay. My second question is, if me and my buddies got into a fight at the bar, or if we got pulled over and one of my buddies had some cannabis on them, we would all be charged, okay? So what about all of the other officers that were in that video? Are they still actively serving the actual people on the police force? Or are you having a pre-disciplinary conference with them so that their jobs, or, and I don't want to really advocate for anyone losing their job, okay? But there needs to be something that happens, whether that be training, discipline, because it's not right. And so they should be held to the same standard, especially as professionals who are under oath supposed to protect and serve us, and so that we as citizens are. So if you would just answer that, Chief.
What I can tell you is that training and discipline happens for just
Thank you.
I didn't hear that. Repeat your answer. So,
my answer is that training and discipline occurred to more than just the officer who was involved in this case.
I thought you said officer who reassigned to another training officer.
So I'm going to say something that may bother you. It's all conditioning. We all have been conditioned. People that look like me, we've been conditioned. All of us can tell you from the moment we got our driver's license, our parents took us out on the road. If you ever get pulled over, what do? Keep your hands on the wheel. Go ahead and roll your windows down. Turn the radio off. Say yes, sir, or no, sir, and keep it really simple. See, we've been conditioned to respond to authorities. And you've been conditioned too. My pale-faced people. You've been conditioned. You've been conditioned to see people like me or people like him as a threat. You've been conditioned to see brown faces as an enemy. And that makes it hard for you to do your job. See, I'm not envious of your job, and I really don't fault you, because you have been trained and conditioned to chase us down and to look at us like we're the enemy. So here's my question for you. In the trainings that you're going to develop,
no, they've already been trained.
wait a minute. In the trainings that's going to be developed, we don't need any more policies. As much as I love policies and writing manuals, that's all well and good. But we're going to be right back to this spot, a reactionary position. I need you all to look at it like our parents did, teaching us how to drive, being proactive. You know you're going to get pulled over, so let's just go ahead and be mindful of that. So, in the conditioning and training your police officers, how are you going to train them to see me not as a threat?
I hear what you're saying. We do training on a regular basis all the time with that.
Yeah,
It's not going to mean that every person's going to do the right thing. All right? And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm 100% responsible and accountable for what happened in this agency. Absolutely 100%. Okay? I'm not pointing fingers at anyone else. I'm not playing the blame game or throwing other people under the bus. I hear what you're saying. We have worked really hard to try to improve what we're doing and to change the mindset of our officers to treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Okay? That work takes time, and we're trying really hard.
No, it takes firing people and charging them with criminal charges.
And the officer is gone, and he's probably the charge. Okay, I have to make that decision on the charge. But look, all I'm telling you is, I hear you. I'm willing to work with you to come up with whatever training you think is needed.
Fire them and charge them with criminal charges.
I'm very certain that's going to happen.
So I want to know, like, do you plan to resign? Because I feel like that's something that would hold you accountable for what happened in the school. I really do. No ill will, that I've mentioned before. Like, no ill will at all. But I appreciate the fact that you said you're holding yourself accountable. But the best way to hold yourself accountable is to step aside and revisit and look at what the leadership is. Because policies change all day, trainings change all day. It's leadership that makes that happen. And you show, in my opinion, you show poor leadership in the decisions you made. And I hope to the other leaders in our community that are here tonight, I want you to have a conversation. I want you to engage with us here and ask if Chief Hooper decides not to resign, how are you going to hold Chief Hooper accountable? What does that look like? So, once again, I respect you coming out here, 150%. But I want to know, answer the question, do you plan to resign based on the handling of this situation?
I'm happy to resign if that's going to solve the problem. Take it right now.
It's the department. It's not the figurehead.
Hey.
Now listen to this. Now you're gonna hear something.
I'd like to follow up on that. We have policies. Every use of policies been developed for over a year now. We have policies in place. They were not implemented. Or if they were, it was not apparent that they were implemented. And I think we need to have some transparency and some oversight and people, citizens involved, looking at what's happening in our police department. We need police advisory groups that have some oversight and can make more than a recommendation to the city council. They need to be involved with you, working with you to make sure that what your job is happens, and that your responsibility for seeing that the right thing that happens, that they support you in that and holding you accountable in that regard. I am aware that Charlotte and Greensboro have citizens advisory groups that work with the police department. They are doing that. That is something that we can do too. We need to have people involved, citizens involved, working with you to make sure that all of us have the community that we want to have. And I will ask that the Citizens Advisory Council, Citizens Police Advisory Council, whatever you are, CPAC, that you recommend to the City Council very strongly that we have such a group working with our police department.
I think that's a real sound and appropriate recommendation, and I would like to propose that CPAC recommend to City Council that City Council will direct the City Attorney's Office to research the authority that Greensboro and Charlotte have for a review process that involves citizens and report back to council on those findings. And if that requires a formal proposal, I would make it following up, Jackie, what you just suggested, so that we come out of this meeting with some specific follow-up step. I offer that as a proposal, and do I have a second? Sean, a second? Well, excuse me, Mr. Holt, it is an official meeting. It was official. noticed by the city of Asheville. It is an official meeting, and therefore I think the proposal offered and seconded is an appropriate one.
It's not the right time.
It's
not the right time. This is public comment time. It's public comment time. It's not time for business. It's public comment time. It's public comment time. You do your business after you've heard from us. You do your business after we've spoken. You are out of order. You're out of order.
You won't have any authority for it. That's exactly what the recommendation is to council.
I'll take your concerns. They're duly noted, but I think at this point in time, people really just want to talk.
Yes. Bravo! Bravo! Right. Right. All right, here we go.
What I'm saying is, here's what I'm saying is, she has a proposal, but I got the power to take the proposal wherever it goes. I can do that. I hear your proposal, I'll bring it up. If y'all want to go ahead and do that business right now, is that what y'all want to do?
No. 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 Comment. Let him speak.
Let's listen for comments for another 15 minutes.
Let's speak. Let's speak. Hey, let him speak.
I'm going to give the mic to Chris Peterson, but you have 3 minutes, and then I'm taking it off your hand.
Okay. You know, I've been kicked out of meetings before. You know what? You ain't gonna hear the truth up here.
We're going back and forth, side to side.
I was vice mayor. What?
He was in line, Mike.
Can you stop? Chief Hooper, if you're trying to tell me as a vice mayor that you did not go to Gary Jackson with this dynamite explosive and you went to the assistant city manager, because I'll tell you why you didn't do it. Because Gary said, I'm retiring, and I'm getting a big fat paycheck, and I'm out of here, and you need to take this to him, and you can't tell me that Gary Jackson, and where is the mayor?
Nobody be saying.
Yeah, you knew it. You were running for re-election. This was a hot button. You knew you'd probably get beat. Gary was gone out the door. Protocol would have been, if I was on council. Okay, this is protocol. Chief of police goes to Gary Jackson. Gary Jackson hires and fires her. She was brought here to clean this town up. Her story does not go. I'm sorry. I don't know you, but I'm telling you. I know what I was up here with. You'd have been fired immediately. Gary Jackson covered this up. He's out the door. He's going to be gone in 3 weeks. He's getting over a 6-figure deal that he cut with the mayor, so they both keep quiet. She was running for re-election. And all her puppets that were with her. Now, where's Robin Curry? You didn't think to bring the city attorney $1.2 million budget? This story stinks so bad, and it starts right there. You need to tell the truth, Chief. If you tell the truth, I would say you probably need to stay. But you know you did not go to a deputy assistant city manager, and Gary's sitting there, and the mayor's sitting there. And I might add, Miss Mayor, you brought that city attorney with you from Raleigh. You got her that job. She's your best friend. She knew for 6 months and she didn't tell you. This is a bunch of hogwash. I'll tell you what, Gary Jackson already got a deal. You can't fire him. He's got his money. He was going to get all the blame 6 months when it came unraveled. It came unraveled. Guess what? You need to get fired. The chief fired city manager, the 2 assistant city managers, and for sure, our city attorney, Robin Kearney, she's as crooked as you can get. You know what? That's why the black community always gets bulldozed by this bullshit. You know what? The next time, they all need to go, and let's get some people in there. And where was city? Hey, why didn't city council? Hey, why didn't city council, when all of a sudden they all learned about it, including you, Mayor, 6 months ago, why didn't you go, Gary, come in here. You need to tell us, were you covering up? Why did we not run her for 6 months? Y'all are all guilty. It was an election year, and you won. It's good for you because you're the worst mayor we've ever had. He's the worst city manager we ever had. And guess what? He's going to take the money and he's going to be gone in 3 weeks. He's been had. We've all been had.
And you know what? You're a Republican who told the goddamn truth. Hot damn it.
My name is
Bipartisan, man.
Sit down. I'm the president of the Fraternal Order of Police.
Oh, shit. I thought I wanted to hear Terrence.
I'm here representing.
Terrence. No, that's another Terrence.
Next, I'm here to represent the men and women of the Asheville Police Department who are members of our lodge. Since Thursday night at our meeting at our lodge, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was downtown and I talked to so many officers. Every officer I talked to, including myself, are so disappointed in what we see in that video.
Oh, really?
We thought it was disgusting, what took place in that video. It broke my heart. It broke my heart for the men and women of the police department. Because that is not who they are. Chris Hickman. Chris Hickman has issues, and that was revealed that night.
You got some too. Yeah, you got
And so everything is his fault. I talked to the officers, I said, from the next week or so, everyone who officers wearing uniform are Chris Hickman. When the public see you, they see Chris Hickman. You're Chris Hickman for the next couple of weeks. I said, but hold your head up, because I know that's not who you are. I said, we'll get through this. All I ask of the community, all I ask of you, is don't judge the rest of those officers there because of Chris Hickman. Chris Hickman is the one that needs to be involved. Those other officers are young officers that were just there. It's Chris Hickman's place. Let me say this too.
They got
I have not
that
talked to the mayor, and I have not talked to the chief. I have not talked to the chief, called her anything. But when I heard what happened, I said, where's Chris Hickman? I said, the chief took him off the road, took his gun. I said, it must be serious. She said, I'm lying. The chief has done the right thing. I commend the chief for what she's done. But I'm saying this, if you have any more committees, I would like to be on it. I mean,
No, absolutely not. No way.
And so all I'm saying is you let me together, I'm not going to be on it. Thank you, God bless you, I love everybody.
Hello, my name is Miss Murray, and I wrote a complaint against Officer Chris Hickman last summer when he talked to me and treated me like a dog and talked to my grandson.
Tell the truth.
And this was at the park, Recreation Park, and I know my grandsons have dogs too. And I got over my grandma and said it to them. But I had to come with them. I wrote a complaint to some of the other officers who were with them, and they did not take his side. They asked me to calm down the situation. But I told them he needed to go to a training, sensitive training, because he was a racist and prejudiced, and I did not want nothing from him, and I did not want him to come to me and apologize, because he wouldn't do it anyway, and show what me. So that's what they knew about this. So if they had handled that back then, this wouldn't have happened.
are tired of coming to meetings for over a year and a half with no results. We are tired of simple cost-saving policies. I'm sorry, we are tired of our simple cost-saving policies. I'm sorry. Give her a mic. Give her a mic.
That's damn.
Sorry,
That's damn green. Real black. Speak black. Speak black. Say it, cuz. Tell them, cuz. We ain't come here for nothing.
We are tired of our simple, we are tired of simple and cost-saving policies being suggested and being ignored. We're tired of people dying on the streets to pay for this oppression at the hands of the police.
Yes. Right.
Is that working?
They pick and choose who they want to hear. Yeah. Pick and choose who you want to hear.
We have said, we will say again, that we need to cut the police budget and fund the people. Housing for all, childcare, healthcare, mental health care and wellness, living wage costs, jobs, food security, education, and support for our youth. Police brutality has clearly hit a level that can only be described as ferociously animalistic.
Yes!
What it looks like is a bunch of uneducated, violently conditioned, bored children with too much unwritten authority exercised with weapons and maneuvers unnecessary to the task.
Right.
In a nutshell, you are not qualified to protect anything.
Yep.
What you are doing, what you are doing with the job of attempting to clear poor folk out of Asheville. You are next. Enjoy your gentrified commute. But before you go, I want to work together. Before you go, I want to work together. I want my city, the city of Asheville, to lead by example. I want my city to know and respect its indigenous people before tourists. I want to see public lives being provided accountability 24/7. I want to see some arrests yesterday. I want officers to pay back the money we paid them to brutalize our people. I want the police to stop terrorizing a nation of minorities. Again, I want Asheville to lead by example. You're still sitting there. We're waiting for you, and what are you waiting for? Thank you.
Good evening, CPAC members. I'm familiar with every one of you up there on the stage. As I have come before you many times, voicing concerns about things that happen in our community. And it's the same old thing over and over again. We are the ones that keep getting hurt in the end. And one thing that we as African Americans in our community need to do is get out and vote. Because a lot of these positions, the police chief is appointed by who?
The city manager.
The city
So
manager.
it's not elected official, but who puts the city manager in his place?
The council. The city manager and the council.
So we vote to put city council in their position. This is what it all boils down to.
You keep getting the same old thing.
And if we don't get out and vote and put people in position to not have what we have going on now, because it's been corrupt since I've been in this world. So it didn't start with Chief Hooper.
Put D in office.
And it didn't start with Chief Anderson.
Put D in office. Ooh, they don't want D, honey.
Dee had her chance and she ran
And Dee knew she wasn't gonna make it, but and they hid this so Dee couldn't win.
So while I have my little 3 minutes, I'd like to finish with what I have to say.
Go ahead,
So, again, we have to get out and vote. Right now, currently, this month, every Tuesday, we have a Civics 101 class at the Eddington Center from 6 to 7:30. Please tell somebody, preferably from the African American community, because those are the ones that are always left out and don't really understand how the local government works. And until they learn that, how the local government works, then we're going to keep having these types of things happening behind the scenes in the city council and wherever. But we have to get out and put people in position and get them out to vote. I'm not going to come here and bash people. I had my moment with Chief Hooper on Monday to really express how I felt, and she understands that. But sitting here hooping and hollering and trying to overtalk each other is not going to solve the problem. And it's not going to happen overnight. So we as citizens of the city of Asheville, tax-paying citizens, we have so much power in punching the ballot. And that's what it all boils down to, is getting out and taking an African American out and explaining to them how the local government works. That's my little 2 cents, and y'all have a good night.
Can you hear me? Chief, I think one of my frustrations and concerns is that it took 5 months to initiate a criminal investigation. Now, I understand that you were doing a personnel investigation, but a criminal investigation could have been done simultaneously. And what I'm wondering is why did it take 5 months to initiate a criminal investigation?
Thank you. You know, I have answered some questions. The reality is that that's just too long. I understand that, and you know, moving forward, I can change that policy to make sure that anytime there's an excessive force complaint, we do it as a criminal right out of that. Just hasn't been how things are before. I'm not saying that the best way is the policy we have. I'm saying that moving forward, we can make that change and make sure it doesn't happen this way.
You should have listened to us 3 years ago, Chief.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that's what's frustrating the community that's so unacceptable. That you that it was apparent that that was criminal. And a person named in a criminal investigation and we're understanding, we apologize, but we don't understand why it wasn't initiated and why it wasn't started simultaneously.
And, you know, again, the actions that I took for the ones that have been taken every single time one of these complaints has come in since before I was here in this position. I can obviously tell you that I'm sorry that it was that way, but that means nothing to you right now. What I'm telling you is I can change that in the future, but I can't change what's already been. Okay?
Let me make an apology here. When Carol was getting to the hearing,
My name is Terrence Baker. I'm a young black male. A few things. One, I am not afraid of you. Two, I love my people.
All right.
There's only a few things in history that's worked out for black people. Sit-ins, by any means necessary, the Black Panther Party for self-defense, Black Lives Matter. And honestly, I don't think that you guys are going to do anything beneficial for us whatsoever. If anyone in the community wants to talk about what we can do about this, to come by me. You go back to policing the police.
Let them talk.
Let them go over there. Let them go ahead. Thank you,
Can you guys hear me? Okay, so I just wanted to make it clear that and I'm 14 years old, and apparently I'm African American, and I don't think it's right that I don't feel safe in my own community, and I don't know if I will wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, is this when I'm going to get beat up by the cops, or is this when I'm going to get shot? So I just want to make that clear.
I'll speak with the voice that God gave me. Let me say this, please. In spite of these good people maybe being of goodwill here, this is only an advisory committee. They have no authority to do anything. All they can do is recommend. I suggest to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the elephant in this room and the big question that has not been addressed is, what did you know and when did you know it?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why we
If we're talking about transparency, this is blinding to me. You know, what we have here is right out of the movie Cool Hand Luke. What we have here is a failure to communicate.
That's right.
Now, to put it very simply, it is very difficult for me, maybe not for anybody else, but it's very difficult for me to believe that when this incident occurred, I know in my heart of hearts and after 80 years on this good earth, that the chief of police went to Gary Jackson, the city manager. And for the reasons that Chris pointed out, Chris Peterson, he was a hot potato and he passed it on down to a deputy city manager.
That's
now,
right.
For anyone to believe that the city attorney did not know about this is incredible. And now they're saying that they passed it on down to an assistant city attorney. Now there's something that is wrong with this picture, and what's wrong with this picture is that no one is admitting the fact that it was election time.
Yes!
And what we have here is a hot potato, a dynamite, that had to be covered up.
Yep.
And your so-called Asheville Times doesn't have the guts to report it.
That's right.
They're keeping you in the dark, and that's why we are where we are. This session here is merely an opportunity for you to blow off steam.
That's right.
But the time to come is when you have people running for election like D. Williams, and then you decide who you want to vote for. And you've got to go to city council meetings, and you've got to hear what they're doing with your taxes, with your money, how they're misspending it. And if I sound like I'm an old angry man, I guess I am.
Is this mic on?
Yeah,
Turn it on? Okay. You don't need a mic, Mom. So I'm D. Williams, and let me just say
I want to tell the truth tonight. This city has a penchant for selecting people not based on ability, just based on acquiescence.
Keep the mic to your mouth, Mom.
Can you hear?
Keep it up to your mouth, because I want to hear what you got to say. Tell the truth and shame.
Okay, I do want to tell the truth. I'm from here. I have nothing to hide, and I'm 100% vested in the city. One of the things that you need to know is that a small group of people run the city. Okay? If you are not of that ilk to do what you're told, you are penalized, you are ostracized, you are blackballed.
Amen.
And just because you tell people they can sit on committees, they'll never get selected.
That's right.
Never, ever. Okay, so the big elephant in the room is a cover-up, y'all. It had to be. I hate this gentleman got beat, but he's not the first one and he won't be the last.
That's right.
Not unless we do something decisive. We have got to stop talking so much and start doing. There's so much black people in this city. One of the things that is wrong with us is that we accept the crumbs and sell each other out.
That's right.
I'm helping you out right now, whoever you are. We have no respect. It's evidenced by what this officer said to that gentleman. No respect. Call him broke. He didn't know this man. And then the thing about it is, we all know this. This has happened before, and yet we fail to hold people accountable. We fail to do that. Let me just say this. I've worked in this community all my life. All my life. I've run and stood for election a lot of times. A lot of things that I told y'all, them taking the block over or whatever, you didn't hear me when I hollered, did you? Are you going to hear me when I holler now? When you did. See, the thing about it is that we look for other people to validate who we are. We really do. I know one of the things that I disagreed with, and I tried to work with the chief and the city, is that we looked at the data, and data is fine. But the thing about it is when you use predictive policing, there's a lot of racial prejudice that comes out with that. That's just a computer. You teach how to be racist.
Keep them right to your mouth.
People are going to die. There are going to be more and more people that get beaten and get hurt and get killed. Because when people are talking, most of the time, when we're working on these committees, we're not listened to. You need to know that. We're told pretty much that they're going to patrol our neighborhoods based on where we think we have high crime statistics. And it's always black neighborhoods. And every time people go in those neighborhoods, our people get hurt. And then we sit here and we come to these meetings over and over again. Let me tell y'all something. There's a lot of people in this room that don't like me. And I don't like you either.
That's right.
I'm not straight. I tell you what, I'll meet you on any ground you want to. And if you want to debate civics, if you want to debate finance, I can do that. Balance sheet put one together. So we can talk. I'm never going to be quiet about my people. You don't have the price of a dollar and go out and make me stop. And you can kill me, but you damn sure can't eat.
Because I'm going to come right behind.
And I'm going to sit down and somebody on the floor. I got a call about this gentleman after the fact. About 2 weeks ago.
Tell the truth.
They said who he was. They said it was a cover-up. They said everybody knew about it. They told me I was under surveillance. And
who else?
And you can't trick.
And who else, Mama?
Both of us.
They was watching us.
They said we're under surveillance and you can't trail. But you know what? When you do this,
now what was y'all at?
You just gotta have a good heart, and you gotta be clean, and you gotta be straight.
They ain't got nothing on us.
I'm gonna say this in closing. There's some of us who, let me tell y'all this. A lot of y'all don't know this. I was the first black valedictorian in Asheville. A lot of y'all don't know. Don't be fooled, y'all. A lot of these people that you elect are selected for you. They might look like us, but one thing about it is, when you look at the data, what have they done? We're in worse shape economically than we've ever had been. Our black children have the widest achievement gap of their white cohorts than any other black children in the state. Our mortality rates, our morbidity rates are higher than any African Americans in the state. What have we got to be thankful?
Nobody wants to talk about what.
But that tells you that when you get the hell out of Asheville, your life gets longer, your children learn more. So the thing about it is that what is it going to take for us to change it? If y'all want to change it, I'm with you. If you don't, you can go to hell.
That this woman had us under investigation. Using our tax dollars to surveillance us.
Could you explain to me what they?
Before she continued. What's the blow? That
Continue on the use of force, continue on this very antiquated methodology in which, during past times, police have looked at how they apply force, where it falls on a continuum from starting with the officer's presence up through lethal force. All the things that go between them. And we don't use that anymore. We have to use.
Can I ask you a question, Chief? Is it true or is it not that you and your officers had me, Amy Cantrell, and D. Williams under surveillance with your taxpayer money? Is that the truth or is it not? I hear what you're saying, but I'm telling you, your whistleblower and the department called us up and said specifically that we were under surveillance by you.
And every time I go to see Dolores, there's a police car down at the bottom of the hill where she lives.
Watching me. I can't even walk out my house. I can't even walk out my house.
It shouldn't be. You're the chief.
She hasn't answered my
You're the
question.
chief. You're the chief.
Pretty sure I answered your question about the use of force.
Michael.
I gotta go. I can't live with this.
Where does it fall in this situation?
We don't use it. It doesn't fall anywhere.
She said they don't use it.
How is it evaluated? What would it have taken for that officer to be unpaid and suspended and fired? What would that incident have looked like for that to have happened?
For that to happen, there would have to be a complete change in the city's policy. How we deal with people that go out on administrative duties or investigative suspension. We don't have the opportunity in this city to put people out without pay. Just don't. It's not like a decision to do. We have to look at how we can get into those policies, change those policies, or try to look at how we can have input into the civil service law as it exists. But as it is right now, as it was on August 25th, took that officer off the street, suspended his law enforcement authority. He never went back on the street, but there's no mechanism in which he could not be paid until he resigned or was fired. That's basically how it works.
We can't come around in the street.
It's frustrating for me too.
Sister, you stay right there. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. You stand right where you at.
I have a question, please. In terms of the brutal beating that that gentleman was subjected to, how does it compare to a hate crime?
And that's a very good question.
Yes, it is.
And I would think that when the district attorney evaluates all the
tired of
charges that
him
he
too.
bring, that
He
would
tired of
probably be
him
among
too.
them.
But it's taken so long that should be judged as a hate crime the first time it was committed. And another question is, I know with police officers, it's hard to determine, where their heart is. So a lot of times with police officers, they feel entitled that they can treat a black person any kind of way they want to because they are a police officer. So in terms of screening them, how do you go about that? Because that's what's happening. Not only in Asheville, but everywhere else. Because as a police officer, you feel that you have the right way. You feel that you're not going to be reprimanded. You think you can do this and get away with it, just as it has been, just as it was done now.
Go ahead on Annie.
What I can tell you in response to that is that how we process our officers in terms of psychological screening at this time is probably very different from how it was done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. We do the best job we can to determine that we do not have biases or other issues psychologically. We certainly will miss something, but we try to do our due diligence, and I believe that the process that we have right now, which is readily available to look at, is one in which that's exactly what we want to try to do, to make sure that we're hiring officers who aren't out there on a power trip, they're not out there trying to attack people, they just want to be out there working in the community.
Yes, every last one of them don't want to do that. A lot of them, not going to say every last one of them, but as you see, there are some that are highly racial, highly prejudiced, have hatred And they think that being a police officer is their way of exercising that. And they get away with it.
I didn't come here planning to speak, but as I have been here since 6 o'clock, all I can do is think about my nephew. My nephew is 8. He loves chicken nuggets and fire trucks and ice cream and hugging me and being the cutest, sweetest little kid he can possibly be. My nephew is also a little black boy, and I know that a lot of police, when they interact with our youth, their first thing is, well, I thought this 14-year-old boy was 21, so that's why I handled the situation the way I handled it. So right now, I'm sitting here, and all I can do is think about all of the youth in Asheville who get harassed by the police for just walking down the street, specifically the black boys, because of the way they look. They're 14, 6'2", and you're like, what is that big black man doing walking down the street existing? And I'm also thinking about this footage and why police footage is not automatically reviewed unless something happens. And so I agree with so many things that other people have said, but I'm also wondering, what are we going to do about that? Is there going to be, are y'all looking to review all police footage as it comes in? I know that's a task, I know that's a long process, but it seems like these things are only reviewed when something happens. And then even Officer Hickman, when his footage was reviewed, it was showed that 4 other incidents had occurred. So if this wanted to happen, his footage would have never been reviewed, and y'all wanted to have known that those 4 other incidents had occurred. And also, not trying to put you on blast, Keith, but I just want to echo what Carol said, and I just want to, I know there's other people in here who sit on city council. Sunday, I sent y'all an email about House Bill DRH 4010 MS 42, and it's a House bill that was being pushed last year by Charlotte and Durham and Greensboro, who all are able to have citizens review boards that are able to view police footage. And so what I'm asking is that if the city really wants to apologize, I'm going to need y'all to crew up with Charlotte and Durham and Greensboro. I'm going to need y'all to fight on a state level, so all cities in North Carolina can also have those citizens review boards where folks can actually review tapes other than the officers and the people involved. I know we go and fight the state when it comes to environmental issues, which are important, but my life is important. Black lives are important. And I didn't want to tell this story, but I'm going to. But I'm 28, and this incident that I'm about to tell you happened when I was 19. If I knew what I knew now, then I would have handled the situation a lot different. But I was 19, and I was sitting outside of my mom's house in an SUV with one of my friends who happens to be a black man. We're sitting outside, and one of my mom's neighbors decides to come out, and she's staring at the car for a little bit, and we already knew what was going to happen. We're like, might as well just sit here. About 5 minutes later, the K-9 unit and some backup rolled up on us. It was 2 in the morning. They said, what are y'all doing here? And I said, well, my mom lives here. The officer asked for my friend's ID. Because my mom lived there, my stuff was in the house, so I didn't have my ID on me. The police officer was like, I need to see your ID. I'm like, it's inside. And they're like, well, we need to follow you into your house so you can go get your ID. And the first thing I said was, okay, but I have a dog, and my dog is going to jump on you, so you should probably be warned, because I'm not trying to have y'all shoot up my house because my dog jumped on you. And then checked my ID, realized that neither one of us had warrants. And then the officer said to me, next time y'all want to talk at 2 a.m., y'all can go to Denny's. So for me, that moment was very clear that existing while black is a crime in Asheville. And I just want to ask anybody in this room who is not a person of color, please raise your hand if you have ever jaywalked.
I'm furious, I'm upset, I am heartbroken that Mr. Johnny Rush was assaulted by police officers here in Asheville, North Carolina. I am also ashamed because I did not know the depth and the severity of the racism and the disrespect that the police officers are treating people of color in this city. It makes me sick. I'm a person who believes in equality, in treating every human being with dignity and respect, and I want this to change. It's time for change. And I'm going to work for change. I don't think it matters who the chief of police is, or who the mayor is, or who the city manager is. We need to have change. It needs to be law change. It needs to be policy change. And we need to have change in the police academy to weed out the racist, Nazi, bigot thugs that are attacking black men in this community. We need change now. We need talk. We need specific policies, laws, and we need changes in the police academy to weed out these people through psychological testing, through real-world trials. We've got to get these people off the police force, and the time to do it is now. And one more thing to say. Why is Officer Ruggiero not fired and not in jail? Both of these people, Hickman and Ruggiero, should be in jail for assault, for physical abuse, and mental abuse for Mr. Johnny Rush. They should be in jail.
I want to give anybody else the opportunity to speak. Is there anybody else that would like to say something?
Hey y'all. My name is Jonathan Rivera, and I actually live right up here at the top of the hill on Aura Street. This is my neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Last fall, I walked right into this community center, and I voted for Ms. D. Williams for Asheville City Council. I truly wonder how many more people might have voted for you if this news had come out last fall in the middle of that election cycle. All right? You might be sitting up here on this stage right now, but you can't really ever figure that out, right? So, listen. The way the city of Asheville flow chart looks, it looks like this. And it's printed. You can get a copy of it. It's city manager, and over top of the city manager is the city council. And then over top of that are you, ladies and gentlemen, the people of Asheville. You are the folks who run this town.
No,
Whether or not,
listen to us.
well, let's talk about listening, all right? Let's talk about listening. Because I imagine for a lot of you, this is the first time you've ever been to one of these CPAC meetings. So let me take just 2 seconds to tell you a story about the first time I ever came to a CPAC meeting. They used to be held inside the police department at 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay? Tell me, who can make it to something at 3:30 in the afternoon? If you work service industry, you're likely to be at your job by then. And if you work an office job, you haven't gotten out yet. So you can't go to a meeting like that unless you take a day off, right? There's that. So I went to one after I had a really unfortunate incident with a national police officer, and I wanted to just see what CPAC was all about. Now, it took a lot for me to put on a collared shirt and walk up inside the police department after I had gotten smacked around by one of Asheville's finest. But I did it, and I walked into that room, and everybody in there looked at me crazy, because I was the only citizen in the entire room that afternoon. marginal folks, people of color, people from housing, and due to that, we expanded the potential of this board to actually serve as a check and balance on our police department. Or so we thought, because as soon as that happened, Gary Jackson in the city manager's office started to move the goalposts on us. Okay? Y'all remember Officer Oza? Shaylin Oza? The dude who decided that it was a really good idea to point an AR-15 at a bunch of 12-year-olds?
Yes.
Alright. Because I live on Ward Street, and because I play with the neighborhood black kids in my neighborhood, because they're awesome, and we play all kinds of stuff, they run around with BB guns. Hell, I ran around with BB guns all my life. That shit made me hot to watch a grown man point an assault rifle at you. So I came to one of those meetings, kind of like tonight. It was less people. It was held at the Public Works Building over on Charlotte Street, and we ripped the chief a new one. Okay?
But she's still
And it was tough, and there was a lot of tears and a lot of like screaming. And bear in mind, I was guilty of that too. I shot the chief down. Now listen though. I have a little bit of a hard time. I'm going to be booed for this, but I have a little bit of a hard time completely blaming Tammy. Okay? Chief Hooper, I know it must be incredibly challenging to be a woman of your sexual preference, stepping into this role and trying to manage this program. We ran a black man out of town, and I'm sure it's not easy to try to manage some of these rednecks that work for you. All right, I'm gonna wrap up.
This has been damn good. And I think we need to do it again, and I think we've won, because we were not in the mood to come here and hear certain people talk. And I am used to black folk getting down like this, talking and expressing ourselves, and we still respectful. Thank you.
Good evening. A lot of y'all might know me. My name is Pub Moore.
Yes.
I was born and raised here in Asheville, North Carolina. I am a very respected person. I have a love for thee. I have respect for everybody that's got a head spoken. I want to say something, but I won't be on the same line that my cousin was still on. I want to go back several years ago. I was coming through town, and I was stopped by a police officer. He pulled me over on College Street. I never will forget it. He made me get out of my car, and he said, "You're going to have to go to the police department because you fit the description of a black man that has been robbing the places uptown." He took me over there, and as he took me in the office there, another fellow brought a photo out. He said, "That's not the guy here." And I never forget what that police officer said to me. "You all look alike."
We all look.
I want to say something though. After that, I had so much hate for every police officer who I saw. Every time I saw one, I took it out on him. But I want to say something here. I come here to voice my opinion over what happened in an incident that I saw on the video. A lot of y'all know me. A lot of y'all out here is not the color of my skin here. My brothers and my sisters there. I had the opportunity to get around law enforcement for over 25 years. After that accident happened there, I learned so much. I started riding with different police officers. As I became riding with so many police officers there, I became close to so many of them, like my brothers and my sisters out here. I had a different approach, a different scenery toward law enforcement. I rode so many ships. The lieutenants, the captains treated me like I was one of them. Every time they had a call, I was able to go on the call with them. I asked the police department to give this man here a name. Now, I want to say something here. On the same line my cousin was talking about. Young man right here running land. I rode so many shifts with this man here. Yes, he's a white man. But he has a heart of a black man. That comes from my heart there. This young man sitting up here, up here, I had the opportunity to meet him. I love this man right here. Ain't nobody gonna take that away from me. Nobody is. I love that man right there. Mr. Miller over there, I had a long talk with him. I had a talk with him Sunday as he shared something with me. He shared hurt. He shared pain. He was just hurt. That young man right there told me something there. I did a scenario on that man there several years ago for what I learned on the street from so many different police officers of this color here. That man told me something. He was eating his food. As I walked in the cafe, I said, get up out of my seat. I want to sit there. He looked at me. And something he told me the other day. He said, you taught me something. I had a chance. I had to make a choice. Then I want to walk the streets and treat people bad like he's seen so many. I want to make a career. Man shook my hand and told me something. You learned me something there. This gentleman sitting up here, sir, you my brother. You my brother. You my sister. You my sister. But this man right here, I want to tell y'all something. This is my brother here. I love him. I love that man sitting right there. I love that man sitting over there. They felt the pain. I saw this man right here serving in West Asheville.
We ain't talking about him though, bro. We talking about the brother, the police officer that whooped the black man.
That's what I'm saying. Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please.
Because you're patronizing us with this.
I'm not patronizing you.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. Let me talk. This man right here stopped me on Haywood Road Saturday. And the thing that he said to me, as a tear come out his eyes, Bud, I am hurt. I know you are hurt there. You are one of us there. But they are good and they are bad. Now let me go to the video now. Let me ask you a question. When I saw that video, and as long as I've been around law enforcement, it hurt me just like it hurt every last one of y'all out here. It did. That was wrong. The way that he did, the young man right there, that was disgusting. That made it look bad to this man here. It was disgusting there. As well as Jim right there know was wrong. As well as this man right here know was wrong there. And I hope not Officer Hickman, but Mr. Hickman now will get what he deserves now.
It ain't happened yet?
We're not gonna wait on God.
But I'm just saying right here, everybody has their right to voice their opinion now. We can't hold this man right here. We can't look down on this man right here for what happened. And that's all I have to say.
Brother, let me tell you something. Let me just say something real quick. I don't need no microphone. Let me tell you something. I didn't come here to make friends. I didn't come here to be cordial. I didn't come here to be collegial. Let me tell you what I came to do. To tell you, if you don't solve this problem, we will. You in our hood now. Now you where we come from. Now you in our playing ground. You see what happens? We didn't talk to you any kind of way, but your officers coming over here treating us any kind of way. I am so tired as a black woman watching black men being demoralized on the streets. So let me tell you something. If city council, the county manager, the city manager, I'm sorry, if the district attorney can't do their job, did you see what happened in Ferguson? Did you see what happened in Charlotte? Did you see that? We're going to bring that right to your doorstep because you done brought this violence into our household. We're traumatized. And we're tired of being traumatized. And you get to go home and talk about this, cry a little bit, go to a black church or a black pastor, and get a solvement. Those days are over. I'm here to tell you, if nobody else do it, I'm going to do it by my damn self.
So, this meeting has I just want to say this. For other elected officials that are in the room, I want you to know that sometimes you got to take your medicine. People right now are outraged. They don't want to see incremental change. They want to see accountability. So you have to take this in stride and take everything that these people have said in here to heart. Because they wouldn't come out here and say otherwise. Nobody showed up here just because. They didn't do that. This meeting is also made in the New York Times. It's all.
We need the truth to come out here.
One last speaker, and then we're going to wrap it up.
I've got something good to report to what this meeting has done. Asheville and New York Times, outrage over footage of police officer beating a black man in North Carolina. This is what we did today.
Good evening, y'all. I have a couple things to say. First of all, I want to tell you, for those of you who don't know, my name is Quentin David Sargent. But tonight, I just want to share this with you guys. I did review the tape. I looked at it also on YouTube. Deeply hurt. But I want to share this with you. My time in the Asheville Police Department, I've seen a lot of things. When I say I've seen a lot of things, some that were good, some were bad. I want to tell you that my time in the community that I've invested, been out with a lot of people's children, been out with their parents, and I know a lot of you guys here. And I just want to share this one thought. My thought I want to share is, it did happen. We can't say it again. Okay, but what's more important now is what are we going to do now?
Exactly.
And someone told me this, I'm going to share it, I'm going to sit down. He shared two things with me. He said, we're planning to walk out from the school from Parkland. I think that's what this incident happened, and I'm not being disrespectful. But what he told me was, he said, we're going to walk out of school here in Asheville to support them.
All right.
But we have people being shot here in Asheville.
That's right. Church
We're not
is
going
at
to walk
home.
out. We're not going to walk out of
Church
class.
is at home.
So that was for me, like, it hurt. Then he did something, I call it, it's like a trick playing a word game. So he said there's 5 birds sitting on that telephone line, right? He said 3 of them were thinking about leaving. So the question is, how many are there? 5? Yep. Do you know why it's 5? Because they're thinking about it, they're not doing nothing. So we come here tonight, and we got a lot of, things we need to work on. I've heard everything from firing everybody to everyone staying, putting people in jail. Hey, the system's going to do what it does.
That's it.
All right, and we have to understand let me say this too. So July 2nd, I get to retire, so I'm not.
You ain't worried.
Okay, so I just want to tell you, we asking for the chief to leave. Some of you guys are. I've been here to gain something about who she is and what she wants to do. And I'll tell you that some of the things she talked about, she's been able to do. Chief Madison is talking about the same things. Okay, but he's not here. She is. So before we start giving her the move, before we start just crashing down on everybody, we got to come together and talk about this. Okay, because I'm just telling you, we get somebody else in here, and guess what? It might be worse than y'all say Chief Hoover is. Okay, and then what? We'll be back. And the last thing I'll tell you is we got to do something with our culture at our department. Okay, but we're not the only one. Okay, but if we really want to do something about it, how many are willing to come back to another meeting?
City Council Tuesday, 5
City Council Tuesday. Okay. I'm sure they will. I promise you they will.
Black Lives Matter coming up on the 22nd.
Because here's what I know about police officers, okay? For the most part, we all go there for one reason. We really care about the community we serve. And I'm not going to get into this thing about this one bad apple or two bad apples. I'm just telling you, when we go and do this thing, we call policing, we do it for a reason. And most of the time it comes from my heart. I know mine has come from my heart. You know, and I've been told a lot of things about why you do what you do. Because I love kids. I love you. And I guarantee a lot of police officers can stand and tell you the same thing. We are not happy about what happened. But understand this, and I'm done. Keep saying it, I'm done. Just one thing. One thing, please. Okay. Do we really want to do something about this? If we really want to do something about this, it's about the dialogue. It's about talking about it. We got to do a plan. I agree with you. But then what we do, we stay on
Too much talk. Too much talk.
Okay, so do this for me. Do this for me. If it's too much talk, what is the plan?
I got one.
Okay, come and talk. We'll talk about it.
Let's talk Queen now. Let's
No,
go.
we'll go there. They gotta go.
I'm ready.
And then we'll see y'all Tuesday.
But if you don't change the system, we're going to shut this city down before tourism, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I feel Black Lives Matter.
We're going to shut the city down. We're about to shut it down. If you don't rectify this situation, we're going to shut the city down. We're going to ruin your tourism. Downtown is over. That's right.
Everybody